Ready? 3, 2, 1.
I didn't even open mine.
Welcome to happy hour. Cheers.
Wait, why does yours look different than mine?
What? Are they different?
No.
Oh. We don't have any alcohol today, so we have go squeeze.
And she doesn't feel good, so she doesn't want to drink.
Yeah, sorry for the sniffling ahead of time. I can't do anything about it.
She's a dirty bitch.
I'm a dirty girl.
Go squeeze. Sponge press.
Last week.
Ew! Don't do that.
Oh. Last week we were kind of negative.
Were we?
Just at the end, we were talking about annoying things
shit happens.
people do. So we're gonna kick off this week by talking about.
Anyways,
okay, so this week we're going to talk about good regulars, and
there's not very many of them.
They come far and few between.
That was far. Wait,
few and far.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot.
But I feel like I've made regulars that are like my friends, you know.
Yeah, there's a couple that are like.
There's regulars at our job now that a couple weeks ago I was really tired. I was talking about how much I wanted Starbucks. So they left and they went and got me Starbucks and came back. It's just a couple that comes in like pretty regularly and sits at the bar.
Oh, okay.
They're really nice, but they left and went and got me and Taylor Starbucks and came back.
What angels?
I know. And I was like, hey, don't tip me. Like, you got me Starbucks, you're good. And they were like, it's bad. And they tipped me too.
Crazy. Yeah, no, definitely have some regulars that like actually became like good friends of mine.
I have a lot of regulars on Facebook.
Oh yeah,
like
the ones that we saw at the what's it called, the grand opening.
Yes.
Yeah. They're sweethearts.
I love them.
They always bring and like our pizzas and stuff from work.
They he was like one of those dudes that like at patio there'd be like a sea of people, and I'd see him and I'd hand him his drink like over people's heads.
Oh, absolutely.
And people are like, what the heck, man? I'm like, don't even. I know this dude's going to give me at least $20. He's going to be so nice the entire time he's here.
I just burped. And it's honestly not even about like the tips. Like, you know that most of your regulars are going to tip well, but I have some regulars that just tip 20%. Like, don't even like go over like that.
But when they're like,
just kind and they're
kind, they're like, oh, like no rush at all. Like, just whenever you can come over here.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like, especially on like really busy days, even if they are like, you know, 18-20% tippers, but they're taking up a seat.
Lucy!
You're eating my balls?
Stop.
Leave my balls alone! But when they're just like sitting...
You're caught on camera.
Caught in 4K. But when they're just like sitting in a seat and they're being nice, and like it's one of those days where like you're getting like your ass kicked or whatever, but you know that constant is sitting there of just like, this is my person, and they're... If they sit with an empty drink for 10 minutes, they're not going to be mad at me, and... Yeah. It's just, like, so nice. I also have, like, my friend Jamisha. She
is the sweetest thing ever.
The sweetest person in the entire world. We had mutual friends, but we really became good friends because she would come in and hang out at patio all the time. Yeah. She would help us, like, bust tables and, like, straighten chairs at the end of the night.
Yeah, I've had some regulars
we'd go out with her after work. I feel like, especially if you're in, like, party mode...
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, your regulars are there at close, and they're like, hey, we're going to this bar. Do you want to come?
Or they're taking shots with you during your shift.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's go.
You're like, all right, I've already had a couple. Might as well. Or my friend Taylor, she was in a friend group. Like, we had mutual friends as well.
Also,
but
very kind.
I know. Sweet angel babies. Her and Jamisha are, like, some of the purest people I've ever met. But she was another one of those that just, like, would come in and, like, help bust tables, help move chairs. And we'd, like, all go out after work. Just, like, sweet angel babies. I love them so much. Who do we have at our current job that's like a regular, that's like constant? That guy from last week. He subscribed and he was like, I haven't watched them yet.
Shout out. Oh.
Not a shout out.
Not a shout out.
You need to watch them.
That's crazy.
You know what he said to me this week? There was like I'm going to tell him next time I see him he's in this video so that he watches. But Monday, there was like a really bad storm going on while I was working. Like, we ended up closing like an hour early. And it was, we're rooftop, but we have a roof.
Yeah.
But it's like.
But it's open, like.
Yeah. So we were like out of the elements, but I could see the rain and like see everything. And there was huge lightning bolts, like picture perfect lightning bolts going across the sky. And I was like, oh, did you see that? And he was like, no. Because he was facing towards the wall of TVs.
Yeah, the bar is facing towards the wall. And then the
bartender was looking out towards the street. And I was like, that was like a huge lightning bolt. And it happened again. And I looked at him and I went, did you see that? And he said, I saw it in your eyes. Like, my eyes looking at the sky.
That's so crazy.
I was like, no. He was like, yeah.
So are you staring into my soul?
I know, but I was like, that's like a really good photo. He's like, do you want me to take a picture? I was like, no, it's okay. It was really nice. Here, do you want this?
A bar guest comes up. You're like, hold on. Just waiting for the perfect moment.
Like, holding my eyeballs. My contacts are popping out. Let's try it out. Here.
Oh.
The funniest thing is I don't think you can see her with the way that I have the camera. You can't. Angled.
Oh, so we didn't catch her in 4K.
We caught you lunging across the couch. But yeah, there's some regulars that just like you see every week and they respect boundaries, they respect your boundaries, but like they're nice enough that like you still connect with them. Even not regulars, even just customers that like come in. Not customers, guests. I'm sorry. Even guests that come in and like maybe don't come in often, but like you immediately, they're like
you
so
know
nice.
Who they are, and
What about when you don't know who they are, but they know who you are? Because that happens to us all the time. We both worked downtown for quite a few years, and we both lived in this town like our whole lives. Yeah. A lot of people will come up to me like, and they'll call me by government names. Jordan! I'm like, who's talking to me?
God, is that you?
And they're like, oh, hey, how are you doing? And at that point, when they're talking like that, it's too late for you to be like, who are you?
Yeah.
So you're just like, yeah, man, how are you? How's the baby? What? Dog? How's life?
The house? I don't know.
Oh,
I'm actually homeless with no...
My wife left. The dog's gone. I'm living in a tent. My friend, I have to cut this out, but I cannot wait to tell you because I just remembered.
Go.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, regular or people that like recognize you.
Yes, is like, what do you do? And what do you do?
It's the worst thing because they like genuinely like think that you remember, and you're like,
and they're like excited to talk to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and listen, I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, college. I've worked in multiple restaurants in this town and multiple restaurants downtown. So I'm like, I could know you from any of those places.
And then somebody will be like, hey, you remember me? And I was like, no. And they're like, oh, okay. And then, like, you don't want to make them feel bad, but, like, I've seen millions and millions of fucking faces.
Yeah, like, what do you want me to do?
In between me meeting you. Like, I'm sorry.
Or when they don't ask you that, and they're just like, oh, my God. They call you by your name, and you're like, and you don't have the chance to say no. You're just like,
you're like,
hey,
Samantha.
Person. Nice to see you, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, man.
Or they're like, have you worked somewhere else? Which one?
Okay, so.
And I start listening, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, yeah, that one. And I'm like, worked there 2 years ago, so.
Like, could have been.
Yeah.
Anything. Oh, twice in the past week, this has happened to me, where I see someone come in, they sit down, and I know I remember them, but for some reason, I
hate that.
No, for some reason, I think I remember them because they were a bad guest.
Oh.
But I can't be sure.
And then you don't want to treat them like shit, and then you don't...
And it literally was 50-50. One of them was a bad guest.
Oh, love.
Because they proved it this time, too. And the other one, I remembered after they left. I was
shit.
like, no, I did know you, and you were nice. But the one, I was like, you're in here sometimes.
Was it the one when I was leaving?
No, that one I recognized. That one I recognized. I saw her.
And did she?
They tipped me really well because they didn't end up paying for their meal. They were okay that time. I think it was maybe just because she was a little too drunk the last time she was in there. But yeah, and then the other guy that came in, I was like, I think I know you. I think you're a piece of shit. But I can't be sure. And then he made it sure.
You're like, oh,
that's right. You. Yeah, I do remember you now that you say that. Please don't ever come back. So bad. I know we said we were going to start on a positive note.
Which we did.
We did. But something crazy happened this weekend. And it's kind of funny now looking back, but in the moment it was like super scary. So Saturday, me and our friend Caitlin worked upstairs. Mm-hmm. You were off Saturday night. And we got done, and Taylor, which is my boyfriend, was getting off at the same time, and Jake, our bar back. And Jake leaves, and he's like meeting up with somebody or something. And Taylor is parked in the parking lot right across the street, and we're parked in the normal parking lot.
Where the hell was he parked?
Right across the street.
Why?
Because it was Saturday, so there's no meter people there. Oh. So he went, hey, do you want me to give you guys a ride to your cars? And we were like, no, we're fine. And there was this giant group of people outside of high school reunion, because there always is. And they're always hooligans, dude. And
it's right next to family reunion.
Yeah, our job, and there's like a parking lot in between, and then family reunion, and then another parking lot. And like, that's the parking lot we park in. It's hard to explain, but downtown there's not...
You motherfucker.
Hi. Downtown there's not a ton of parking options, so you kind of have to, pick and choose.
I was about to say, take it where you can.
So we were like, no, we don't need a ride. Like, we're going to be fine. And he was like, are you sure? Like, there's a lot of people over there. And we were like, no, we're good. And Caitlin made a joke, and she was like, what are they going to do, annoy me to death? And Taylor is very big on, like, women's safety and just, like, how easily women
get taken advantage of.
Yeah, get targeted.
Like, targeted, yeah.
And he kind of gave me this look, like, oh, and I was like, we'll be fine, baby, I promise. And he was like, okay. So we go out to the car, and I don't know about you guys, but the amount of times me and you, or me and Caitlin, or you and Caitlin do a debrief after work.
Oh, absolutely. You need to.
You have to. And so some shit happened that night. So we were like, normally we sit in my Jeep.
Yeah.
We wanted to make it quick. So I had the door open. I'm sitting with my legs out of the Jeep, like if this is the door, like I'm kind of sitting just
You're like
this.
Facing outwards.
And she's standing right next to the door because
it's a train.
It's a nader. That's what the naders want you to think. So we're like sitting there, and we aren't in the truck because I'm like, we're gonna make this quick.
Yeah.
And we're just like talking, we're chatting, and we're talking about like guests we had that day and whatever. And this guy, quite a few people walk by there. It's like,
and it's a lot of drunk people like walking, like
some dude
right
like
in front of
behind the building,
right in front of like our cars. Most of the time, like people will walk and like pee right next to the building.
There's like a little like corner thing, and so it's usually it's kind of just like annoying more than anything.
Yeah. She just flips her light bar on.
Yeah, I put my light bar on, and I'm like, I can see you peeing, and like,
you're Willie.
That's it. Yeah. So this parking lot is catty corner to a gas station.
Which also, gas stations just in general are fucking sketchy.
This one especially is sketchy too. It's like up against two major roads. Too.
And we also have like a lot, like our homeless population is very high in like the downtown area. I feel like that's
pretty common in most like city areas where like the downtown area, the homeless population is like kind of congested there. So this guy comes walking out, and he's a young guy. I'm gonna give like a full, I can see him in my brain. Kind of a young guy.
If you recognize this man.
He's watching. He's like walking down the street, and I am looking like over Caitlin's head at him, and he looks a little sketchier than just a young drunk guy. Young drunk dudes, they'll catcall you, or they'll like
and then they'll
holler, and you'll be like, go away, and they'll be like, fuck you, and that's it.
Yeah.
It was like different. And she turns and looks at him, and as soon as she turns and looks at him, he starts walking towards us. And at first, I was like, okay, maybe this is drunk dude trying to ground himself, whatever. He comes up. My car, like where I'm sitting, is parked here. And Caitlin's car is like a little farther away than the wall behind where we're filming. So there's like two or three parking spots in between our cars. There's no parking spots there, but like that's how wide it would be. And he's standing in front of her car, and he has a red Bull in one pocket, and his other hand is very deeply into his pocket, and he did not take it out the entire time.
Sketchy.
And I said this to you this week, and I said this to Taylor, and he had a little I told you so moment, but I don't know if you've ever seen like interviews with people that have met serial killers before they knew they were serial killers. They're like, something was really off. Like, I felt uneasy.
Yeah.
I felt like he was a serial killer. That's what it felt like. Like, the energy shifted, all my hair stood up. And it wasn't just, I'm alone and I'm a girl. It was different. Like, we walk and see people all the time. So he's like, hey. And Kylin went, hey. And he went, I need help. And I went, what do you need help with? And I will say, because Caitlin and I are both very mouthy people, if I were in a bar, I would have been not as nice to this guy.
Yeah, you have to be. You're literally alone, like, in a parking lot.
So I was a little nicer than I normally would be, only because the hand in the pocket, he looked like he was probably on some booger sugar, like, pretty intensely, like, the way he was moving and stuff. And again, I just got this, like, really eerie feeling. So I was like, I'm not gonna try this. So he was like, I'm trying to get into bars, but I don't have my ID. And I'm like, okay, well, try this bar. And he's like, where's that at? And I give him directions. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I think I checked that out. I don't think I like it. And I went, okay, try this bar. And I gave him hotel.
Mm-hmm. Also, you can't be picky if you don't have your ID. Sorry. On a Saturday night.
I was like, you should have your ID on you. And he was like our age. So it wasn't like he was old enough that like
people would just know.
Yeah. And I give him that one. He goes, I've already been to that one. And I went, okay, so if you've already been to the bars, then like, you know, right? Like, go. And he goes to kind of walk away and he like kind of paces back and he goes, I'm looking for girls.
Ew.
The way you phrase that. And it wasn't like,
I'm trying to pick up girls. I'm looking for girls.
And he said it like he lowered his voice, like dropped. He was like, I'm looking for girls. And we were like, yeah, it was, Kayla and I both looked at it and we were like, and I went, well, there's girls everywhere. And I'm trying to joke at this point. I'm like, go to this bar. There's girls falling under the cracks, you know? Yeah. And he laughed at one point, and it was like nails on it. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It sounds like it being dramatic, but like you could tell, yeah. And the whole time his hand is so deep in his pocket. He's like feeling around. And I have a knife in my like center console, like a big nice knife. And so I'm like, you know, like I don't know what's gonna happen. And I'm giving Caitlin a look like, you should probably get in the trunk. Yeah. Get in the back seat or something. And he ends up, we're like, well, go check it out. And at this point, we're both like, go, you know, go see. You'll find girls. Go, you know, go check it out. And he goes like this, and he turns around, and he circles back, and he goes, well, can't you guys come with me? And that's when Caitlin went, no, go. We're not going with you. And the whole entire time he's walking away, he's like looking back, like he would not stop staring at us. It was, and you know, you'd probably say, you should leave. We didn't. I just gave her a knife and I'm holding a knife. We just sat there and kept talking.
She didn't even get into the car?
No.
And this is how girls die.
This is how you get murdered. Well, a great example is that another dude ended up approaching us and was not like a threat at all. Yeah. He was coming out of the parking lot. He was like, I'm a little scared to drive. There's cops everywhere. I've had like 4 White Claws in like 3 hours. And we were just kind of like, you seem fine. Or White Claws, and he like
what a responsible man though.
Yeah, he was like, I'm kind of a lightweight, and he was like, at one point we were like shooting the shit. He was like, can I get y'all's number? And we went, no. And he went, you're right. Why? I'm a random guy asking for young ladies' number. That's on me.
What a sweetheart.
Yeah, he was so nice. He was just trying to ground himself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if we had such a good experience with this dude right after this other dude, like that other dude, there was like
something
wrong.
That's crazy.
It was not cool.
Just I'm looking for girls.
I'm looking, and it was like
to murder them.
He like he like looked around.
I volunteer.
Like, take me out. He like looked around and like lowered his voice. He was like, "I'm looking for girls." We were like, "Get away from us! We're men." So
I actually have a penis.
I have a penis right now. We were both in skirts. Yeah, it was really scary. I told Taylor about it, and he was like, first of all, told you I should have drove you to your car. Second of all, what the fuck? And then Caitlin ended up did get in my car, and like towards the end, and then we left. But it was really scary. That guy was creepy crawling.
Holy shit!
Have you ever had any scary?
I'm trying to think. I was trying to think while you were talking. I'm sure I have.
When we first opened, I had that dude that was like stalking me. He was like diet stalking me. He wasn't like fully stalking me, but it was like anytime he was at our restaurant, he was looking for me. And that was really scary. Like at one point he was in there
asking for a job, right?
Well, the first time he came in and he was sitting on the floor by like the railing.
What?
And then asked for a water. And then he was like being really weird, and Mason was in, like, he wasn't working that day, but he was sitting at the bar. And I think Kyle, too.
And just at the bar or working?
No, I think they both were just... I think Kyle was working. I think Mason was not working. He was just, like, sitting in the bar.
I miss him.
And he came up... I miss him so much. He came up, and this guy, and he was like, I'll just have a water. And I was like, okay. And he was just being, like, again, like this other dude, like, you can feel his, like, bad energy. And Mason ended up, like...
saying something?
Kind of, like, talking to him to get his attention away from me, I think. And then he asked my name. He left. He came back 4 hours later and tried to come behind the bar, you remember? And Kyle was, like, support staff. He was, like, standing by the dumbwaiter. And I turned around, and he was standing, like, right there, like, where the bar backs and stuff stand. And I went, you gotta get away from there. And he was like, hi, Jojo. And I was like, hey.
Ew. That's one thing I hate about, like, working at, like, a public place is people know your name.
Yeah, I don't, or, like, can hear someone else call
That's why
you.
I never introduce myself to tables or, like, bar guests.
I don't unless they ask. Yeah, I don't ever do that. But yeah, he ended up leaving that night, and I told our one manager about it. I told Mima about it. She was like, that's weird. And I was like, yeah. And then he came back looking for a job, and he walked in and looked directly at me and was like, are you guys hiring? I was like, no. And then the other time we saw him, we were walking. We
were trying to help.
There was, like, a friend of ours. We were just, like, trying to help with something, and we were going to a different bar, and he was, like, following us.
Right, yeah.
And then the next time he came in between those two times, I came up to open one day, and it was when those guys were building our liquor cage, like the construction or whatever, and he was just sitting at, like, 71, and when I walked in, he came up and sat at the bar, and I didn't recognize him at first because there was a bunch of people there, like, doing construction.
Because y'all weren't open yet, right?
No, I just walked in. It was like 10:15, you know, and he came up, he was like, hi, Jojo, and I was like, hey, and I immediately booked it, and I was like, I think to Abby, I was like, is this guy, like, working on this? And she looked, and she was like, no, and I went, this is the guy that's been, like, coming in here and, like, looking for me every time he's here, and she was like, oh, shit, and she went to Bobby, and was like, hey, and Bobby went and was like, was not nice to him.
Good.
It was like, we're not open. I don't know how you got up here. Get out.
That's so crazy.
And I was so thankful. I was like, thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much. Bobby's a homie, though, because also Caitlin one time had a dude in there, like some very not nice man that she knew. And
I remember that.
Ex or something.
And he was like, you stay back there. Like,
yeah, he's like, I could come out. And she was like, I don't think you could do that. He's like, I own it. I could do whatever I want.
I think I went up to him and I told him about, like, my crazy ex, and I was like, hey, like, if he comes in, I'm not serving him. Yeah. He said, I don't expect you to, and he will leave. He's
such a homie with shit like that. He also once at Patio, because I worked with him at Patio, something like that happened to me too. I can't remember the exact story, but I remember a dude was making me, like, super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I kind of mentioned to the bouncer, it was like a weekend, and the bouncer was like, well, he's not really doing anything yet, you know? Yeah. And Bobby came up and was like, get out. He's making my bartender uncomfortable. Get out.
Get the fuck out.
I was like, thanks, Bob. Thanks, Robert. Yeah, he doesn't play with that kind of shit.
No, good. He's a homie for real.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Even though he probably doesn't watch ours.
He literally does not watch.
He's like, I don't give a fuck.
The one time he watches it, he fires us because we're talking too much about our job. He's like,
actually,
he's like, you signed an NDA. Like, you can't be doing this. Oh, you don't have any?
I can't really think of any.
You know, like, I'm sorry, I have so many. Yeah. I'll make this one really quick. So the first time I got, like, a reality check on men kind of, I don't want to say stalking, but, like, becoming obsessed with a young female service industry working. Baby Reindeer. Don't give anybody any free Diet Cokes this weekend. And watch Baby Reindeer. It's so good. I was 16. I was working at the Melting Pot, which used to be downtown. R.I.P. It's not in our town anymore. Anytime I'm out of town, we go.
Oh, absolutely.
So much. But I was a hostess. And as we said, there was, like, a pretty big homeless population downtown. And I still see him sometimes around town. He's still homeless. He still looks the same, but older. Came in and he asked for a water. And I'm 16, and I'm naive, and I'm soft. I was like, yeah. And so I
still be giving homeless people water sometimes.
I do too.
It just depends on the vibe, though.
Yes, and I was too young to be able to read the vibe, I think. And I gave him water, and my manager came out and he said, hey, that was so nice. Like, I'm not reprimanding you, but you shouldn't be doing that. Like, this is a nice restaurant, first of all.
Yeah.
It is a more upscale restaurant. He's like, also, I don't want to sound insensitive or anything, but he will come back, you know, he's going to know now that this is a place where he's going to have a kind person giving him water, which he's like, is great, but it doesn't look great on the business, you know? Especially, again, Melting Pot's like a nicer restaurant. And I was like, yeah, okay, you're right. And he came back in like a couple days later. And because the manager told me, you know, you gave him water, he's going to come back. I didn't think he was coming back for me. I thought he was coming back because he knew I'd give him water, you know? He came back and I was like, I can't give you water anymore. I'm so sorry. I was like, try going over here, and like told him where to go. And he was like, oh, it's okay. I don't even need water. I just came to talk to you. And I was like, oh. And again, I'm
16. You're like, oh, that's sweet.
It's my first job. Yeah, like this guy's homeless. Like,
he just needs a friend.
You know, I'm a little more naive about like why he could be homeless. And I'm like talking to him for a little while, and then my manager comes up. He's like, okay, you gotta go, man. Like, sorry, no loitering, no hanging out. And then for the next couple of weeks, I saw him everywhere. Basement used to be a Starbucks downtown. I'd walk over and get a Starbucks before work. He would run into me on my walk back. I'd walk out to my car. He'd run into me on my walk out to my car. Ooh. And at one point, like every day in 1 week I worked, he was waiting by my car. He figured out what I drove. And I drove a bright orange Chevy Cobalt. So, like, of course he knew.
It's kind of hard to miss, yeah.
And so then Cook started having to walk me in my car every night. And then he started, like, kind of learning my schedule. And they were like, we don't see him unless you're here. And then some other kind of crazy shit happened. I am almost positive he had a friend that had a car, and they tried following me home one day because he made a very ominous comment about the way I took home once. And then the one guy that I worked with threatened him, and I think we ended up calling the police or threatening to call the police or threatening to file a restraining order. And we got to the point where we did talk to a cop because there was cops downtown all the time, and they were kind of just like, oh, call us if it gets worse. And then I never saw him again. Like, this dude I worked with, he was like 6'5" or something, like big boy, threatened this dude. This was he was probably like your height. Homeless dude.
What you mean that's small? That ain't small.
That's perfectly average size. Some would even say it's pretty tall.
Matter of fact.
That was my first one. And I remember being in tears. Like,
that's insane, dude.
The day that, like, my coworker cussed him out, I was like, I'm so sorry. I just was giving him water. I didn't know it would turn into this.
Damn.
It was scary.
Oh, my God.
Now, looking back, it's almost scarier because I didn't realize how scary it was.
Yeah, but I think that's actually also a better thing that you didn't know, because that would have freaked you out even more.
Yeah, and like eventually, like I said, like my coworkers had to start walking me out to my car.
And you're like, this is stupid. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah, like he's not being like
aggressive.
Like, he's just talking to me about nonsense every time he sees me. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know about that one. Damn.
Yeah, that one.
So you haven't seen him since?
I see him, but I don't think he either doesn't recognize me because it's been like 10 years, you know, but he I don't know, I remember seeing him a few more times, and I remember one time he tried to approach me, but I was with people, and then after my one coworker kind of threatened him, he stopped. After a man told him to stop fucking with me, he stopped. Of course.
Should let me at him.
Let me at him. You guys are in the same weight class, you could find him.
What next? Oh, so which one should I talk about first?
I think you should be very careful, but you do
D?
No, do T first.
Okay.
Because it's a little softer, I feel like.
Okay.
A little lighter.
Is it?
No, but it's less story, I feel like.
Yeah. Okay, so this man is obsessed with me. Let's just start off.
Start strong.
Fucking obsessed with me for 3 years. I want to say, yeah. I haven't seen him in like probably like 3 or 4 months. Like I'll see him like walking back to my car like from work or something like that, like at a bar. But I don't like he's blocked off of everything. Like I don't have any contact with him.
And it's funny, you're a lovely girl. Yeah. I'm a lovely girl. Y'all don't have anything else to do. They do obsess over.
Calm down.
Like, take a breather.
And so he comes into our job one night, and I think I'm like in the back or something, and I walk out and I go, Jojo, come here. And we go to the back. I tell her the situation. She said, ew, stay back here. Do not like come back.
Yeah. I'm abrasive.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you could totally sit here with me. I'll be mean to you the whole time.
And so I think he drank like 1 beer or 2 beers, and I finally came out and I just didn't say anything to him because I had to work, obviously. And he left. That was the end of it. I think when we were walking to the car, he shouted at me through like a window at a bar that we have to walk past. It was
high school reunion.
Yeah, high school reunion. And then messages me on Facebook because I didn't realize he wasn't blocked off Facebook. And he was like, so pretty.
Ew. You also should say what he said to you. The thing that it's a threat. That's a threat.
No, I don't want to say that.
No?
No. If we get 20 likes on this video, I'll say it.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. He's just like, they haven't spoken in 3 years.
Yeah.
They, hung out, one time.
Yeah.
And he says out-of-pocket shit to her. Like, they're
out of pocket.
Like, they're in love. And
yeah.
she's like, I don't even want anything to do with you.
And I literally...
You messaged him at one point, you were like, what is your obsession with me?
Because he followed me on Facebook. Because he friend requested me and I just denied it. So he followed me on Facebook. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let it be. Like, I don't really care. Like, just whatever.
Yeah.
And then he, messaged me and started saying, he loved me and shit. And I'm like, dude, calm down.
Yeah, you were like, what is... I think
and I said, it's been 3 years. I think you need to get over this obsession.
Yes, that's what you said. I think you need to get over this little obsession.
And he's like, well, it's not hurting anybody. I said, but it's been 3 years, and I am not contributing to anything that you're saying.
It's making me uncomfortable, so it is hurting somebody.
Yeah. And then, so I ended up blocking him after he said so pretty. And then he proceeded to come into my bar again.
I was really mean to him that time, too.
Yeah. And
my favorite thing...
It was a good time.
Oh. Uh-oh. I gotta make sure I didn't accidentally hit stop recording. I didn't. My favorite thing that happened was when we saw him in a bar at 1 o'clock in the morning, and he hollered at you, and we were like, oh my god, dude. And then he got arrested that night for a DUI. It's not funny. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, don't drink and drive.
So
but it was very iconic.
But it's just so funny that he's yelling at you, and then on public mugshots, it's
because I was looking for a friend that had recently just got arrested, so I was on it, and the first fucking mugshot was him, and I was like, huh. That makes sense now.
About 30 minutes after he got out of yelling at me in a bar. Got it. Fucking psychopath.
Should I talk about it? Just very
just
briefly?
Don't go into too much.
No, yeah. So I dated somebody. Whatever.
Dating is such a strong word. You were seeing somebody.
I was talking to somebody for maybe a week. Or no, it was a month.
It was a month.
I think we dated for a couple days.
Yeah, you guys were calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend for 4 days.
He got jealous of something that happened, which I had no control over.
I think you should tell them what it was.
Okay, so one of our coworkers, Steve.
You can say his name. Steve's a homie, dude.
He is. Put a note on my truck, on my windshield, one day that I was working in the morning, and the guy at the time came and saw me.
The note was innocent, too. It was your truck's as cute as you.
Yeah. It wasn't he said, your truck's cuter than you.
So if anything, he was dogging on you.
And
Steve's that dude. He dogs on you, but also, if you needed something, he would help you.
Absolutely. You know? And so
And he's a dude. Like,
yeah. And
like the homie.
Yeah, and I don't see him that way at all.
No, he doesn't see us that way either. Like, we're like, it's almost like brotherly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he walked me to my truck, and I got in, and he asked me to take him to his car. So he got in, and I saw the note, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. So I pulled it, read it, and then it was actually, like, signed, so I couldn't, like, really tell whose name it was. And I was like, oh, it must have been, like, a cook or something, like, just messing around.
Also, they were dogging on you. Like, that's literally the funniest part. Is, like, all you do if you work in the service industry, honestly, if you work anywhere, just dog on each other.
Yeah. Me and her dog on each other.
All the time, dude.
And so I was like, oh, whatever. And I put it in my center, or, like, on, like, my cup holder or something. And I start driving. He doesn't say anything to me. He gets out of the car and texts me and said, I don't like what they said. Okay, so you didn't say anything when you saw it for the first time.
Yeah.
And then secondly, why?
Okay.
I had no control over what was left on my car.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have even known about it unless you were there.
I don't.
Because I wouldn't have cared enough to tell you because it wasn't like that.
Matter.
Yeah. And so I was like, first of all, you're not going to tell me what to do. And second of all, you're not going to get mad at me for something that, like,
that's
I had no control over. That's a big issue
I have with men. I mean, not just men, like, partners in general, is, like, when somebody else hits on you or does something, and you're mad at me. Like, sorry you got a baddie.
Yeah.
Sorry you were the baddie.
Sorry everybody wants me.
Maybe you should date ugly women if you can't handle it. Sorry.
You can't handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen.
I think, and I'll choose my words carefully. Well, because Steve later said, like, oh, did you get my note right?
No, I read it again, and I realized it said Steve. And so I messaged him, like, my boyfriend, and I told him, I was like, hey, like, this was one of my, like, bartender, like, friends. Like, it was not a big deal.
Which is, to me, is even better than a cook.
Exactly. And he blew it out of proportion. We got into this big-ass fight, and I think there was another argument that happened, and I just was like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want it. Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
And it was a drug-on process.
I was about to say, you would think that you guys were married for 10 years with children.
How he reacted and how he acted afterward, you would think that we had 10 children together.
That man blowing up her phone, like, we were sitting drunk.
38 times he called me, and I did not call him.
We were sitting.
Answer.
It was a Sunday night. We both got off work. We got a little drunk. I went and got my ears pierced. We came back, and we were sitting our event space where we work. The window, you could see high school reunion. So we were sitting drinking. Steve was actually the bartender that day. He was making us shots. He was bringing them into us. And we were sitting watching this guy go in and out of high school reunion.
Mad as hell.
Mad as hell. And also, like, he's sending her texts back to back to back to back.
I was scared to leave because I was scared that he was going to see me.
Because we had to walk by that place to get our vehicles, but it was so funny. We were, like, kind of tipsy. We were
laughing our
You were like,
off.
my favorite thing, you would be like, oh, what do I say? Just throw me
throw the phone. I'm like, go for it. Be mean as possible. Man. I don't care. Yeah.
I don't, and I jokingly tell people all the time that bartending, especially as a woman, is diet sex work.
Yeah.
Where, like, you have to be very comfortable with yourself to date somebody that's a bartender. Because you have to know, like, first of all, I'm not hitting on people all day, but people are going to hit on me.
Yeah, and I'm going to be very nice to people.
And I'm not always going to be like, I'm a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm not going to obviously let it, like, I'm not going to give them my number. I'm not going to let it go any farther, but I like money.
Yeah, and I'm bringing it home to you. So,
like, as long as I am not letting it leave the bar.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's.
You can even leave your number on it. I'm not going to text you, but you can leave your number on my receipt. It's
like,
fine.
I just don't think. I think as long as, like, a new girl, Nick Miller's like, I always what do you say? He's like, I do my best work when there's like 4 feet of bar in between me and the other person.
Great.
And he's like, I don't go outside the bar. Like, this is my safe space.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as you're not taking it outside the bar.
Yeah, and you're not promising things that you cannot deliver.
And you're not playing into it to an extent of where they get false hope.
Exactly, yeah.
If you're just like, oh, you're pretty, it's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, are, if you're like flirting casually back.
But if you're single, go for it.
Yeah, also go crazy.
Do you?
Go crazy. But stupid. I just don't understand people that date, especially people like him who know you because they've come and sit at your bar.
And he was a regular at my fucking bar.
Yes.
Not a regular, but he came in and saw me.
Yes. So you experienced who I was on that side of the bar. You chose to date me, and now you're mad that I'm going to continue being friendly to people at the bar. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I wear a ring on my wedding finger, and I still...
Yeah, they don't care. People don't care.
Also, that guy has come into the bar many times since then.
And... So our job is 2 stories. So if I'm working downstairs, he will go upstairs. If I'm working upstairs, he will stay downstairs. Or stay as far away as possible.
Our one coworker, I don't know if she'll want us to include her name, but she's a sweetie pie angel baby.
Yeah. She
said that once he was downstairs and he was talking, she said, what did she say? He was talking about you like you guys were super serious or something. Yeah. And you were like, girl, we dated for like 4 days.
She said, oh my God.
Oh man!
She said he was acting like y'all were dating for like 4 years. Yeah. I was like, no.
Oh my God.
4 days.
No.
Yeah. Drink of the day.
Oh, I have a small pre-story.
Okay, you got a little snot on you.
Flick it on you. Drink of the day!
Drink of the day!
Our drink of the day today is
a Bahama Mama.
And I have a slight backstory to it.
Okay.
Last Tuesday, I was like kind of serving bartending, and there was a private event going on upstairs. And so for some reason, everybody downstairs decided it was my fault they couldn't go sit upstairs. And we're all just very cranky, but they couldn't go sit upstairs.
Oh, because you were downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for some reason, I'm the one that decided.
That's your fault.
That's on me.
Get a grip.
That's my bad. I'll go kick out the private people that spent a lot of money to have the entire
lot
upstairs.
Of fucking money.
And she went, I'm like kind of busy. I'm like kind of running around. She asked me for Bahama Mama. And I will say this part's my bad. I said, I'm so sorry. I don't have the stuff to make a Bahama Mama because I got it confused with a Mai Tai.
Oh, I hate Mai Tais too. Ugh.
And so I was thinking of like the nut syrup that goes in it. I went, I'm so sorry. I don't have the stuff to make a Bahama Mama. And she's holding her menu and she goes, really? And I went, yeah. And then I went, oh my God, actually, I'm so sorry. I think I just was thinking of a Mai Tai. I'm almost positive I can make a Bahama Mama. And
sometimes you have to look up those fruity drinks because there's so many of them.
All a rum runner, a Bahama Mama, a Mai Tai, like they're all like similar.
Sex on the beach, like just.
I get Tom Collins and Gimlets and like French 75s mixed up too because they're all so similar.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm so sorry. I was actually thinking of a Mai Tai. I think I can make a Bahama Mama. And she went, really? You can? What ingredient did you think you were missing? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was missing a syrup that goes in a Mai Tai. Also, most people when they order Mai Tais don't actually know what a Mai Tai is.
And they hate it. If they get it made right, it's disgusting.
It's not that good.
Yeah.
So I left. I Googled it just to be safe because I was like, I'm flustered.
I can't fuck this up now.
I can't fuck it up. I Google it. I make it for her. It's grenadine, white rum or coconut rum. I think white rum. Orange juice, pineapple juice, and then sometimes there's a spice rum or a dark rum floater on top. Sometimes. Again, that's one of the ones that it kind of depends on where you're at, but it's not that complicated. I can't mix that.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm just a girl. And also, this was like the 4th customer in a row that was just mad at me because they didn't get their way. I bring it back out to her. It's gorgeous. We have like the crunchy ice on our job.
The Chick-fil-A ice, the Sonic ice.
I put that in there, like an orange on top. And she took a sip, and I went, is it okay? And she went, it's fine. And I went, okay. Do you want something else? She went, it's fine. And I was like, okay. All right. And then I left. I came back, and her friend had joined her, and she went, oh, I guess I could have. Oh no, you said that one's not very good. Never mind. And ordered something else. I was like, oh my God! Just to make sure I followed the exact Google instructions because I felt bad.
Yeah.
Sorry. I felt bad that I got it mixed up.
Yeah.
And I owned up to it. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was thinking of Mai Tai. Sorry.
I'm just human.
I'm not a robot.
I also don't remember some drinks. I'm sorry.
Do you know how many drinks there are?
It's a miracle that I remember as many as I do.
I like when people come in and they're like, can I have a green smack my ass iguana? And I'm like, what is that? And they're like, I got it one time at a dive bar in the Caribbean. And I'm like, why would you think I know what's in that?
It's just a Blue Long Island.
It's like a Blue Long Island with pineapple juice. That's the other thing. Most craft cocktails are just another craft cocktail with like a twist.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they'll say something like that, and I'll be like, or like there's a sex on the beach, and then there's like a sex in the driveway, and there's like a sex in the car, and it's all like 2 ingredients switch.
And then they expect you to just know off the top of your head, like, can I get a sex on the driveway?
And I'm like,
you're like, no, that's illegal.
Sure put your clothes on. What are you doing?
Silly.
I just like the amount of people I've had that say something like that. Can I get an upside down dog? And you're like, what? And they're like, yeah, I had it once in Utah. I'm like,
well,
okay, go back to Utah, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. Or I'm just like, when she's snoring. She caught us. The one I could think of off the top of my head was that lady that ordered a martini, and the liquor we used for it was 3 Olives. I think you hear this. The liquor we used, the brand was 3 Olives, which was right behind us on the shelf. And I rang in a double 3 Olives vanilla martini. They're like staring at the receipt for like 10 minutes. They look at me like, I didn't get any olives.
I think it was a chocolate martini.
It was. And I was like, oh no, that's just what I have to ring in. Like, that's the liquor. Like, I don't have a button for like chocolate martini. She was like, oh, I thought that you rang me up for olives. I was like,
no.
Why would olives be $13?
3 of them.
But like I've had that happen a couple times where I'll ring something in, like,
and I hate people that like scan them.
That was her.
I hate people that scan the receipt.
Yeah, but I don't mind scanning it. It's when they're like, and they use their calculator to see. And then, have you seen people like take the tax off and tip according to the like, what's it called? I think technically that's what, because like in the computer, that's what it bases our tip.
That's yeah. But no, like they'll put the total without the tax. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, you can't just evade.
It's like you can't do that. I'm sorry.
I'm almost positive it's a felony to evade taxes. I'm not sure. No, but like you'll ring in something like, we don't have a Bahama Mama button,
mm-hmm.
so I'll ring in Rum Runner.
Yeah,
because it's like almost the same thing. They're like, I didn't get a Rum Runner. I'm like
no, really? I didn't know that.
Actually, you almost did. There's not much difference between those 2 drinks.
You actually got less liquor, so pay me.
Man. And I get, like, if you're being nice about, like, but some people are, like, so upset about it. I'm like,
you know my favorite thing to do?
What?
It's when somebody asks me for a frozen drink, because we don't have a blender. I'm like, sorry, no.
You want to hear something
it's
amazing?
My favorite thing
love
ever.
So much is after the Bahama Mama woman, she had equally as difficult woman join her because
makes sense. I mean, they attract.
And she said, "Have a margarita," and I'm on high alert now at this table because I'm like, these people are not nice. I'm not doing anything right. I'm like, yeah. Do you want like a specific tequila or a flavor? I can tell you what flavors we had. She went, I like them frozen. And I went, okay. Unfortunately, we don't have a blender. I'm so sorry about that. Do you want just a regular, like, on the rocks? And she went, no. And then she goes, what do you recommend? Which I also
hate. I
like it if they're asking, like, out of your cocktails, what do you recommend?
Yeah. But like, if you just ask me, I'm going to give you a hot tequila shot.
Strawberry surprise. Or if you give me, like, 2 or 3 options.
Yeah.
But she went, what do you recommend? And I went, oh, that's a really broad question. What, do you normally drink tequila then? And she went, no, I normally drink vodka. And I went, okay, do you like the sour flavor profile of like a margarita? And she went, no, I prefer a sweet drink. And I was like,
Then why did you order a margarita?
Okay. And she ended up ordering a Well Vodka Cosmo.
Ew.
So they obviously knew what they wanted. Like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Anyways, I think
Listen.
that is the most disgusting thing.
It won't come out. It's too far.
My allergies are kicking in. My eyes are red.
Look at me. Guys, watch Baby Guys, watch Baby Reindeer.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's a little, like, scary if you work in the restaurant industry. Just, like, what could happen. Especially, like, us talking about, like...
I go to my truck, someone's in it.
It's that homeless guy.
From 10 years ago.
I've been watching you.
Baby Reindeer is so good. The main character in it is the guy that it really happened to in
That's
real life.
crazy that he had to
and there's, like,
that
a
whole
lot of
situation.
Yeah, there's, like, a lot of really deep, heavy shit. And he had to, like, relive his trauma.
That's scary. Like, that's sad.
Have you seen that woman that's claiming to be the woman in real life?
No.
Oh, we have to watch that when we're done filming this. There's a lady that just went on Piers Morgan, which, fuck Piers Morgan. But I'll applaud him because she claims she's Martha. I mean, she's a different name. They changed all their names in the show. But she's claiming she's Martha. And she went on Piers Morgan's show to say her side of the story. Because she said that the Netflix show is not the true story. And at first I was like, okay, like, of course. And in the Netflix special, they were like, we don't want to talk too much about, like, what's going on because we don't want people to find out, like, anyone's real identity. And then everyone found out her real identity.
Was it her?
I don't know. They can't, like, they haven't, like, proved it or anything, but she went on and did, like, this whole tell-all with Piers Morgan, and the way she speaks, it seems like it is her.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's all over TikTok, isn't it?
No. I've been playing on my game. I haven't been on TikTok in a while.
Me last night making Brussels sprouts when the power almost went out. It was storming so bad, our power flashed, and I was making hot honey Brussels sprouts. It was like 2:30 in the morning. It was so good.
It's disgusting. No. And your house probably reeked.
So like hot honey.
Oh.
You like hot honey?
No.
What? I love hot honey.
I don't like
hot. Oh my god!
Can't fissies.
We get a pillow. Our tops come off all of a sudden.
Now it switches to OnlyFans.
Like, pop up, subscribe. So we had a dude a couple weeks ago.
It's been like a month because it was cold.
Yeah, actually, you're right. It was like pretty chilly.
But he came in like late as hell.
We closed at midnight. He came in at like 11:15.
Yeah.
So our kitchen's been closed. And he came in, he sat down, and imagine what you think he looks like when we tell you the story, and that's what he looked like.
Yeah.
But he asked me, he said, I gave them menus.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need this.
I know what I want. I want a cup of coffee.
We're like,
And I went, I don't think we have any coffee right now. I'll go check. And I went to check to see if we still had some, but we didn't because it's 11 p.m. And we're upstairs. So to brew the coffee, we have to go downstairs.
Yeah.
And we would have wasted an entire pot of coffee.
On one man.
We're also not
for maybe a cup.
Yeah. We're also not a coffee restaurant.
Yeah.
Like we don't do a lot of coffee. Even on brunch, we don't do a lot of coffee. Yeah. So I came back and I was like, hey, dude.
Sorry.
I didn't say that. I was like, I'm so sorry. We don't have any coffee.
Yeah.
And then what was his next thing
he asked for Kahlua.
Oh, he asked for a White Russian.
Yeah, and then because
I went, we don't have coffee. Do you have something else? He went, I have to think about it, and waved me off. And I was like, okay, you think about it, King.
I'm just like in the background. I was like,
and then I came back, and he's like, I want a White Russian, and I went, I'm so sorry, we don't have Kahlua. And I was about to say, but we have this other liquor that's, I think, better than Kahlua.
Yeah, it's like a mocha grind, like
espresso,
coffee liqueur.
I think Kahlua is sweeter and a little creamier, but
I don't know. I think that ours is a little more sweet just because of the mocha.
Maybe it's the creaminess that makes it seem sweeter. But if you're getting White Russian, there's already
cream
in it
anyway.
But Kahlua is
not creamy.
No, but it gives me a creamy vibe. I don't know why. Maybe because we just keep it in the fridge. Most people keep it in the fridge. I don't know. But I was about to tell him about our really good, better than Kahlua.
She didn't even get like a butt out.
And he went, oh my God, forget it! And like pushed himself away from the bar. His chair almost fell over. Like, for having a temper tantrum.
And then the woman with him was like, sorry, he's had a bad day.
I'm like, how is that my problem?
Don't come into my work and disrespect me like that.
Also, it's not my fault. It's 11 p.m. and you're fucking craving either a coffee or a pussy drink, bro. I actually really like White Russians. Cassidy would kick my ass if she knew that I was talking shit about White Russians. She's a White Russian and
you're not talking shit. I am.
She said, I am.
Fuck White Russians. Gross. It curdles. It.
Ugh. Honestly, I feel like we get a lot of kind of annoying, difficult guests, but we don't get a lot of guests like that are like downright just like.
Yeah, they're just like more annoying, more so of like wanting something and we don't have it, and they're like, she just drooled
on me.
No, right here. Anyways, I think people that just keep like asking like for stuff that we don't have and like just getting attitudes about it.
There's a lady and a guy on Monday, one of the two. They came in and sat down. They wanted to look at the menu. I told them, they asked for a Patron. Rafael Añejo. I was like, I don't have any Patron. She got pissy, and then she asked for Casamigos. I went to pour the Casamigos. I was like, about to pour it. She went, oh, whoa. I didn't know you had 1942. I want that. It's on the top shelf. She went.
And it is kind of higher priced.
Yeah.
But really, it's cheaper than pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I had to get Taylor to move the ladder because it's like the top, like we have like one of those like library ladders.
Yeah. And it's like, we have like, what, 1, 2, 3, like 4 or 5 or 6, I think? Yeah, 6
shelves.
Like
the 5th shelf. It's very tall. I was going to say, I think I have a picture of me on it. I was going to say I could insert that, but I'm not going to say that because I don't know if I can insert that photo.
Also, you might not want to just because it kind of looks like our job and you have your shirt on.
I could blur the shirt, though. Anyways, so I get up the ladder. I get it. I come down. She goes, I want a double. I said, okay, just so you know, it's going to be $50. Because you went from a $16 double to a $50 double. And she went, okay. And I went, okay. I'm just telling you. And the bottle has like this much left in it. Plenty for a double or two. And she went, is that the only? She went, whoa. Is that the only bottle you have? And I was like, yes, ma'am. And she was like, you don't have a full bottle. And I went, I don't think so. We usually only get like one bottle of this in at a time. She went, can you go check? Mm-hmm. And I went, I can in a second. Like, can I ask why? And she said, I don't want it out of that old bottle. And I was like, it's not old. No, and also, it's illegal for us to, not illegal, but I think
it is illegal.
It is illegal. You can't have two of the same bottle open, right?
No, it's not illegal for that. It's illegal to like pour liquor into another bottle.
Well, she didn't want that, but she wanted a new bottle. But I was like, yeah, I'm not going to open a new bottle before I finish this bottle. So that doesn't
get sold very much anyways. No. So it's not, it's pointless.
Yeah, so I was like, no, I don't have another bottle, sorry. I gave it to her. Oh, before that, I remember she had ordered a rum runner. And she asked for a pineapple and a cherry. I said, okay. But then she changed it. And then she asked for a cup on the side of pineapple juice for this $50 double. She poured pineapple juice too. So I gave it to her. And I'm walking back and forth. And at one point, the guy goes, excuse me, ma'am. And I went, yes. And these people never once, no thank you, no please. I would come up. They would acknowledge me, like, wanted to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And he went, you forgot her cherry and pineapple. And I went, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted that with the rum runner. And she said, I want it now. I was like, okay.
Okay, tell me that. Like,
then they ordered wings, all flats, which I'm a flat girl. I get it.
I get that, yeah.
Shading on that. But then they complained that we have a $2 upcharge if you want all flats.
That's any restaurant. Most
restaurants have an upcharge. They ordered stuff to go. She ordered something else. They were just a nightmare. Like, when Taylor moved the ladder, when he was walking by and he heard her like, do you have another bottle? He went, I'm so sorry, good luck. He just knew.
He's like, I'm out.
Yeah. They were.
Also, if you go to a restaurant and a server or a bartender come up to talk to you, stop what you're doing, either having a conversation, being on your phone, anything, and talk to your server, because they're the ones wanting to get you stuff.
Yeah.
And they're not mind readers.
Also, we probably have 7 other things to do.
Yeah. So I'm not going to sit there and just wait. Have you seen that TikTok where it's like the mom lets the kid order and the kid's like, can I, you know?
And they're like, I have to do 7,000 things right
now. Like,
I
took my siblings out to dinner tonight, and they're like 7 and 10 or something like that.
Your siblings. Something like that.
Something like that. Well, they just, I don't know, 7 and 10, I think. And I was letting the 10-year-old order her food because she knows how to read. She's pretty good about that. Yeah. And she kind of was just like, and I was like, actually, she'll just get this. Because I'm not going to, like, let her just...
If it's slow, and you can see it's slow, fine. But, like, I feel like 9 times out of 10, it's on, like, a busy night.
Oh! Where I just got triple sat, and I'm...
We had those people this weekend, Friday night. It was mom, her son, his girlfriend, wife, whatever, and the lady sitting at the end of the bar that I went up there, and they weren't even looking at me. They were on their phones, the girls, and they were like, White Claw. And I was like, I don't have White Claw. The one sitting at the end that the in-law, the guy's mom, kept...
1 or 10?
10.
Yes.
Yes, and it was exactly that. I'm walking up. They're not looking at me. They're not acknowledging me. They're barking what they want.
I think they tipped just like 10% or 15%.
I think the lady might have paid. They were like, good thing we're not hungry. Trying to like talk shit about our food. Our food's good.
Yeah, our food.
And then the guy ordered like wings and fries just for all of them to munch on. And she's like, I thought we were going to dinner after this. She was so mean to him. I'm like, man, I kind of feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, it's like, blink twice if you're okay.
Is she holding you hostage?
There was another thing I was going to say, but I can't remember. I love how you have that sticker on the whole time. I'm a warrior.
Oh, I was going to put it on Lucy, but...
I thought you were going to put that on the picture for me. I said, do not.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I can't get it off. God. Have you ever washed a sticker? Did it stick on?
It ripped.
Oh.
I'm just tearing it up. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. She's like, I'm sorry. She's like, please help me. Oh shit. I waxed her.
Lucy, you got boss fight.
Sorry, I waxed you.
Shit, there was one more thing I was gonna say.
You were talking about kids ordering, and you were talking about paying attention when the server is up to you. I cannot stand that. Like, they're on the phone at the bar, and they're like, oh, 1 second. I'm like, what do you mean,
Don't fucking walk up to my bar and give me a finger.
If I'm on the phone and I'm checking out somewhere, I'm ignoring the person on the phone for a second.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, hold on 1 second. Hey, can I get... blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm not making the person serving me wait. What?
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Oh, if you pick up the bill, tip 20%.
Please, for the love of God.
I had that on Tuesday. This guy picked up the bill. I think it was like $140, $30, something like that. Tipped me $20. I was like...
Also, $5, $10, and $20 tips are not always good. Oh, don't worry, I'll tip him $5. It's like a $40 tab. Don't worry, I'll tip him $10. It's like an $80 tab.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll tip $20. That's a $200 tab.
Yeah.
Like, that's not always adequate.
Yeah.
And I will admit that tipping has kind of gone kind of crazy lately.
Yeah.
With like where you're tipping and how you're tipping. But if you're sitting down at a bar or a restaurant and you're eating, you should be tipping at least 15-18%. I tip no less than 20.
Yeah, even if I have bad service, because I always think, I'm like, well, what if they had a bad day?
What if they're getting screamed at by the manager in the back?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on.
Their mom just died.
Usually I tip more than that, but 20% is like my minimum. But it should be like 15, 18, 20 for like good
Jojo
service.
uses an excuse that her cat died.
I have said that before, where people are being really mean to me at work, and I'm just like,
and she
sorry,
cried.
my cat just died. My cat's fine. He's actually
all 3 of them. They're fine.
Yeah, they're doing great. Sorry, you shouldn't be mean to me. I'm just a girl.
I'm just trying to give you drinks. And if you think about it, that's crazy. That we're like servants.
Yeah, what the hell? I will say though, bartending and serving is one of the few industries that women dominate.
Oh yeah.
Like Taylor, when he was bartending with me at our last place, I would literally be bullying men. Like,
and they
downright
love
mean,
it. Eat that shit up.
Throwing money at me. He could give the best service anyone's ever gotten in their life, and he's getting maybe a 30% tip. Like, he's like, it's the one industry that, like, women will, especially attractive women, will always do better in.
Well, I'm out of the game. Shit. I want to bartend at a strip club.
Do it.
We don't have any good strip clubs here.
When you move.
I don't think.
Somewhere close to there. Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Jax has. I would assume so. But
it's a college town. They should.
Also, yeah, but also Jacksonville's kind of sketchy.
Yeah. That's true.
I want to do like Orlando or Tampa. That's what I'm saying. And I actually thought about this.
I want to bartend in a gay bar.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There's a guy on TikTok that bartends in a gay bar. He goes
he's a guy.
And does skits all the time. I like some women.
Do they have gay, like, lesbian bars?
Most gay bars are open to both. But they also do, I think, have lesbian bars. But most gay bars, it's both.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, I could go in there.
No, what I was saying was I kind of wanted to, like, every other weekend or something,
like
work at a strip club for the weekend.
Yeah.
And then just come back, like, get a hotel room.
Yeah. My friends actually were just telling me about that. They were like, have you thought about, like, working at, like, a club?
Honestly, and it's such a, like,
what the hell?
One mixer kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Have you seen that one girl that does like
in
the
Nashville? Yes.
That's where I want to work.
Yes. Like,
I don't want to have to deal with food. I don't want to have to serve anybody.
What do you want? There you go.
Exactly. They wear crop tops and
at patio at one time, that was the vibe. I mean, not quite as good, but like as far as like it was pretty close.
I just wish we had a club here, like a good club.
We have two, and one of them is really bad, and the other one, someone was shot in the parking lot.
Yeah, so. I know. A week into them opening. So,
you're really
remember Cloud9?
Yes.
I never went. I was too young.
Yeah, me
but
too. Someone died.
Somebody died,
right?
yeah.
God. Florida. You know what I really want to do? I want to open my own bar.
I want to do a mobile bar.
Listening to this, please invest in me.
I just want a trailer.
He wants a trailer. I want a building.
So if anybody's offering those up,
let me know. Do you live in our town? Do you have a liquor license? Boy, do I have the offer of a lifetime. Please
I know 100 was selling their liquor license for a while.
Why?
They were closing down. Okay. They were like selling the building and the like liquor license with it.
I don't want that building though.
Yeah, no.
I want somewhere close to where we are now. Can you please stop? Thank you.
I mean, it's not that far.
Yeah, I mean, it's really close to my house. But I don't want to inherit
that.
What 100 Proof is known.
Yeah, that clientele.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's a stripper pole in that one.
There is?
Pretty sure. I've seen somebody on it, so.
I haven't been in there in like 2 years.
I have not been in there ever.
In the 100? Oh, I have.
Yeah.
Once my friend, two of my friends were throwing up in the bathroom, and there was no more toilets, so my other one was throwing up in a bush outside, and then ended up falling asleep in said bush next to the throw up outside, and nobody woke them up, and nobody cared.
That's 100.
Yeah. And then I spent like $20 in the deer hunting game. I was drunk. I was like, I've got these deer.
I want to learn how to do that punch bag thing.
Taylor had very briefly a high score at
billiards.
He had a high score at either high school reunion or Irish.
Oh yeah, I forgot they had one.
I can't remember where, but he like beat the high score at one point.
It's billiards? We could say billiards because billiards is anywhere.
Yeah. No, I don't think we really play that one very much. Every time I go there, I just want to play pool.
I like pool.
I love pool. I love darts.
None of my friends like pool.
I miss the dart place that was on in the old plaza. Did you ever go there? It was like it was a bunch of pool tables and like a bunch of
darts. Where Brewster's used to be. No.
Yes.
Not Brewster's.
The one after it. But
Kmart.
Yes.
Wow, Kmart. R.I.P.
My last big breakup, I called my parents as I was moving out of the house, and they didn't know. And they're like, we're at that bar, come see us. And I'm in my pajamas, like, sobbing, and they're just, like, buying me shots and, like, playing darts with me and, like, playing pool with me, and that was really nice.
Very kind.
I start crying. Just kidding. Oh my god, we're losing it!
Alright, we're done.
And
episode 3 is done.
Is this episode 3?
Oh god.
Thanks for watching. We didn't get any comments on our last one, and we got 2
kind of rude
before that.
Kind of rude.
Y'all are slacking.
Get it together, guys. I expect 4 comments. And if you want to know what he said to me, 20 likes.
Oh my god, you do want to know what she said. It's a fucking threat. It's not, but it is, you know?
I attract crazy men.